Hello there everybody and welcome back once again to my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. There are 3 races left this season now. If you haven't seen the previous installment from Aston, go back and check that one out before you come back and check this one out. This is your last chance to do so before spoilers. Okay, so the championship gap closed up just a little bit in Aston with a win for Lewis Hamilton and Checo Perez getting second place. But we still have a comfortable-ish lead, and it could be wrapped up here, but it would require us winning, and I think Hamilton finishing below 5th if I remember the championship gap correctly. But here we are at Mexico, and currently we're in 5th, so that wouldn't be championship position, but it was enough to get us out of Q1, which was what we were trying to do. Now we're in Q2, giving it everything we got to try and get out of that. I do love driving around this circuit. This is one of my favourites to drive. I love the challenge of Sector 2. And I don't know, I just love driving around this place. It is one of my favourite circuits on the game. It's got plenty of overtaking opportunities. It's got a technical challenge as well. It's also got me going wide at that corner. So hopefully here we can have a good result and carry on some good momentum. We did get a podium in Aston despite making some bad mistakes in that race. Where have we got? We're currently 5th. I thought that would be enough to get us through into Q3, sorry, but it wasn't. P11 and out.
Here we go then. It's time to race in Mexico City, a place which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther won from 3rd on the grid. And what are the Honda-powered cars this year? Well, Red Bull have been going strong here in recent seasons, so can they keep that record going today? The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Jenson Button lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas and Leclerc, Giovinazzi, Joker, Sainz and Max Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ricciardo, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Russell, Hamilton, Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou and Lando Norris. They've taken a grid penalty. Markelov, Ocon, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Grid penalties mean we are starting P8, then we've moved up a few places and it's lights out and away we go. The first phase of the start is a good phase, but the second phase not so much. Verstappen getting a good run there on my left, and he's having a look. I'm trying to cover Carlos Sainz, but I'm now moving to find some clear space I can go into. Sainz goes full send into turn 1. I think Daniel Ricciardo has just turned in on me. I'm trying to get down the inside of Sainz. Sainz closes the door, no way through there. But now I'm going to try and have a look at Sainz into the next series of corners. Ricciardo's dropped back behind Vettel after turning in on me. I'm having a look down the inside of Sainz. No way through there. So now we're going to try and have a look down the right-hander, and we're going to try and get Italian Jesus as well. But Italian Jesus turning in on me there, not quite aware that I was fully there. He's got a better run out of the corner. Now I'm going to try and tuck in behind me, but I've misjudged my braking spot and I've gone into him. I have tagged Italian Jesus, and that is my front wing entirely gone. Not the sort of thing I could afford in this race, and as a result we are falling down the field with that virtual safety car saving my bacon there, as both me and Italian Jesus, Bottas and Ricciardo all pitting to fit new parts. So I don't know where Bottas took damage, Ricciardo turned in on me at the first corner, and, well, I'm not quite sure where Italian Jesus took damage. I'm really not sure. But nonetheless, we have come back out. The virtual safety car has gone in, and we are now racing for P20. Not the start to the Mexican Grand Prix we would have hoped for. And Lance Stroll has dropped down the order there. I'm not quite sure what's happened to him. I'm sure we will solve that mystery a bit later, and I think he's had a spin. So we'll solve that one a bit later. Right, meanwhile, we're tucked up behind Italian Jesus there. Yes, you can see Lance Stroll recovering from his spin. We will have a look a little bit later on as to what caused that. But first things first, let's get the move for P20 done. That is exactly what we have done. Down the inside, he's looking left, looking right, but no way through there for Antonio Giovinazzi. Jenson Button sets the fastest lap, immediately replaced then by Pierre Gasly. So once again, Gasly ridiculously quick, and Bottas going very slowly. And that is why, because his engine has blown up. So Valtteri Bottas is the next casualty from this race. In fact, he's the first driver to drop out. Meanwhile, we've now caught up to Lance Stroll, and this is the battle for P18. Stroll goes defensive. I'm going to go to the outside, and I'm going to sweep around him and take the position. Up to P18. Next up is Markelov and Mazepin, the two Russians. And I believe AI are starting to pit because we've now come out in front of Yuki Tsunoda. I'm trying to get past Artem Markelov, and it's not proving an easy task at all. And Markelov actually being something of a mobile chicane round Sector 2. He's not giving me much room either as I'm trying to get through. But we have got through, and we have moved up into P14. Next up, Guan Yu Zhou tucked up behind Nikita Mazepin. And these two I'm hoping to blast past one or both of them on the straight if I can, although Mazepin's just a little too far ahead for that. But Guan Yu Zhou is not, and I believe we can do him right here. We're getting closer, 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 closer. It's going to be a dive down the inside. No, Guan Yu's gone to dive on Mazepin. I'm going to go to the left of both of them. I'm going to take that outside line, and I've got them both. What a nice little move that was. Mazepin having a look on my left there, but no way through. Mazepin got so busy trying to cover Guan Yu Zhou off and lost time doing it. He didn't even notice I was coming for them both. So a great move there by us, and we caught a second on the Haas on the straight. Just that shows how slow the Haas is. Right, next up, King Latifi. And, well, we managed to overtake him like he was standing still there. Latifi drops to 12th, and now we are starting to get closer to the points paying positions. But still quite a way to go in this race yet. We're on lap 9 of 36, and I'm really enjoying the feel of these tyres at the moment. We're running quite quick. More AI have started to pit now, so we're starting to bring ourselves back into contention here. There is rain on the way a little bit later into the race. We've got a yellow flag. We've got Jenson Button out of the race. And the safety car. We've got a full safety car in force. I'm backing out because I'm not sure whether I can just overtake it. There's Jenson on the left in the disappearing car, and he's had a big one. So we didn't catch what happened to him. Again, we'll have to have a look at that later on. I'm having a rewind. That looks like a massive accident for Jenson. But now the safety car comes in. We have changed tyres. I've gone onto the softs because I felt like that would be the best thing to do if rain is imminent. We did hear in my ear that it was 10 to 15 minutes away, so I'm hoping that the soft tyres will take me to then. I've got a brand new set anyway, so hopefully they will last quite a few laps. But first up, we're having a look at Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. He is currently holding on to that P10 that we so covet. Down the inside we go. Vettel trying to hold on there. Turning in on me a little bit there, but we've got the move done. We are up into P10, and we are now chasing Yuki Tsunoda for P9. And we have got right behind Yuki Tsunoda, and I'm using all the circuit and a bit more to try and find a way through. We've made the dive down the inside. I've gone just wide there, but we've kept P9. Next up is Ocon, diving down the inside here, and we have got that move done. Lando Norris is up next, and there just seems to be a little queue of cars behind Lewis Hamilton. Although Lewis is tucked up behind someone as well, so I can't see who's causing this particular line of cars. As we get right up behind Lando Norris for P7. Norris going quite slowly round those fast corners of Sector 2. We're now finding a way around the outside, and we're going to sweep round the outside and take P7. Next up is Sainz and Hamilton, and I think Leclerc is just in front of them too. So a lot of racing going on at the moment. Quite a bit of action we are seeing here. It's been an eventful race so far.
Some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
And it's still 10 to 15 minutes until we get rain, so I'm really hoping that this rain comes soon. Otherwise we're going to have to pit again. Trying to go around the outside of Sainz. No way through there. In fact, no track either. We ran out of track trying to do it. Now I'm trying to go around the outside again, running out of track, but just being able to get back on. And now not wanting to do what we did with Giovinazzi and going to the back of him. We have backed out of that one. But I am looking for ways to get past Sainz quickly. I want to get this move done. I do not want to be hanging about behind the Ferrari here. The smooth operator is definitely being smooth at keeping me behind. We've got a little bit of a DRS train forming here between 4th and 7th. But now I've got a bit extra momentum. I'm going to try and get past Carlos. We've got speed, we've got the overtake, we've got DRS. We're going to go down the inside and get the move done as Hamilton gets past Charles Leclerc and takes that P4. I've got a little bit sideways on the exit. And now Leclerc goes defensive. I'm going to the outside, and that is P5. So I've swept through and taken P5 away from Leclerc. Next up is Lewis Hamilton in P4. The Mercedes sat there. Me just ahead of, but just behind him. Perez setting the fastest lap of the race. So Perez is really determined to get a move on here. In his home race, he is driving a treat. I believe he is leading the way at the moment. And we're going to have to make another pit stop quite soon. But not before I blast past Lewis Hamilton for P4. Down the inside. Am I going to make the corner? Yes, I do. Hamilton trying to go around the left. No way through there. And back, Gasly has now got Verstappen tucked up right behind him in P2. So it is Perez leading the way, but Perez has made another pit stop. And it's now Gasly leading the race with Max Verstappen right behind him. We're in P3. Gasly just always seems to be either at the front or near the front this season. He's having a hell of a season. Verstappen getting covered then by Perez. I've now tapped Verstappen. It's going a bit wide. Have I got the move done on Verstappen? Yes, I have. That was a brave move there. Verstappen was so busy caught up with Gasly that he lost a little bit of momentum, and we were able to take that move. Right, next up is Pierre Gasly, and this is going to be for the effective race lead. Are we going to be able to do it here? No, we're not. I'm going to try and get the better run out of the corner though and try and get to the inside for the next corner. No. One thing I like to do is let the car run wide in turn 1 and then go for the left-hander with the extra momentum if I can. That wasn't available to me, and now we are tucked up right behind Gasly at the second DRS point. And now I'm going to have to bide my time. And we've actually made another pit stop. We've gone on to medium tyres. I don't know why I didn't take another set of the softs. With rain incoming, you can see now that it is starting to cloud over. And rain is on the way. Perez in P3 now. Vettel P2. And Aston Martin would be delighted if it rained right now, because that would be P2 for their driver. But I'm now trying to catch Checo Perez. Hamilton and Verstappen behind me. And that's not going to hurt my attempts to catch Perez at all. We've set a fastest lap. And I think it's going to be me and Perez for the win if Vettel and Gasly pit soon. Which they do. So now this is between me and Perez for the lead. And we are two of the championship contenders here. So this is it. This is for the championship contending positions. Perez leading the way. We're in second, but we're just not close enough at the moment to make a way through. And Perez doing everything right at the moment. Perez leading the way at his home race. I've gone quite aggressive with my setup, so if it rains, I'm a little bit screwed here, but we're going to try and get past Perez as quickly as we can. Little bit of a lock-up from Perez there, but now we're on the main straight. And we've got DRS once again. Perez leading the way. He's got the whole of Mexico backing him. I'm now getting ever closer and closer and closer. He's covering the inside line. I'm now going to go to the outside. I'm going to try and outbrake him. We have outbraked him, but I've outbraked myself a little bit there. I'm going to try and get the inside, but Perez keeping the racing line brilliantly there. And no way through. Meanwhile, we're watching Carlos Sainz, who's having a few issues. He's having more than a few issues. His car is stopping. Oh no, that's Charles Leclerc. I do apologise. That is Leclerc out of the race. Car number 16 having those issues. Right, now we are right behind Perez one more time. And I am gaining ever quickly on this long straight. The rain's starting to fall now. Going to dive down the inside of Perez, but once again I've outbraked myself. And I'm having to take to the grass because of just how much I have outbraked myself. And I have let Perez go. So we weren't able to get through there. I completely outbraked myself. And now the rain is really starting to come down. It is time, I think, to consider moving on to the intermediate tyre, because it is getting ever wetter and ever slipperier. That's not even a word, but it's getting more and more slippery out there. And you can see just how slowly round the stadium section I'm having to go. I feel like I'm at a frog's pace here. And I'm nearly spinning on my way into the pit lane there. Do not want to do a David Coulthard or a Lewis Hamilton there by binning it in the pit lane. But we are now in to change on from these medium tyres to the intermediate tyres. That's another way that Perez had an advantage, because he had the soft tyres, which meant they would have been warmer and grippier in the slippy conditions. We have now taken on intermediates. We are coming out onto the circuit now, and Perez has got clear. And you know what? With how aggressive my setup is, catching Perez is proving to be very difficult, because in the wet, when you're going around the corners, there's a lot less grip. As you see here, I've nearly gone round. I've managed to catch it, nearly going round again. Gasly should be able to get through here. I'm going to try and move over, but Gasly has got P2. And just like that, I have lost P2. I was challenging for P1, but like I said, I just went too aggressive on the low downforce, and as you can see, it's really costing me, especially in the more technical parts of the circuit. And, well, I was hoping that the rain wouldn't come until later in the race, like the last few laps, but that's not how it happened at all. And you can see how much I'm struggling for grip, because Hamilton and co behind me are catching up with me. So, not really the way I wanted this race to end, but still, it's another podium. It's going to be P3 if we can hold back Lewis. It could have been P2 if I'd have not made the mistake, but like I said, the lack of grip really just caught me out. I spun the wheels up a little bit. I had to catch the car before it spun. There it is then, Sergio Perez winning his home Grand Prix in Mexico. But for us, it's going to be P3, a good podium, a good finish. I'm happy enough with that.
That was an excellent drive.
It's a performance to be proud of from our Mexico City Grand Prix winners. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Well, congratulations to Checo Perez for winning his home race. The weather in the end just catching us out, but when you consider we qualified 11th, moved up to 8th because of penalties, and lost the front wing against Italian Jesus. The fact that we managed to recover and still finish 3rd, I'd say that's a job well done. But Perez taking maximum points. Gasly again on the podium. He's had a brilliant season. And you can see now the gap has come down from Perez, who's now moved up to 2nd in the championship. It's now 31 points from 40 points. So Perez still just about within a shout of this championship here. It is not over yet. We got 2 races left and anything can happen in this sport, and it usually does. AlphaTauri sitting so pretty in 4th in the Constructors now. They're not going to be caught by McLaren. Ferrari down in 6th. It's been a miserable season for them. They really picked up momentum mid-season though, but it's still one to forget for them. But Red Bull are looking set to win the Constructors' Championship here, so they've done really well. Right, let's take a look at some of the incidents from earlier in this race. This is Lance Stroll. It looks like he tagged Esteban Ocon and went round, and you can see him recovering there. Next up, we're going to see what happened to Jenson Button, and it just looks like he got caught out. Let's have a look. He's weaved left wing. Oh, he's just lost it by himself on the straight. And into the wall he goes. Right, thank you for watching, guys, and TTFN.